Game on.
All right, so Mr. Glenn basically here drove down. We survived, and we are now. Yep. So we are here at the Cradle of Aviation Museum, which is the home of the Long Island Gaming Expo, and you can see we got a really long line already. Hi. Hi, Ina. How are you? Nice to meet you as well. Tell me a little bit about this gun right here.
So, this is officially licensed by Namco Bandai. We've got 4 games on it. We have Time Crisis, we have Still Gunner 1 and 2, and we have Point Blank. Still Gunner 1 and 2 is the first time bringing it to a home console. It's using AI technology, so no sensors, no white borders.
No sensors, okay.
It's currently on a Kickstarter campaign.
Which is doing very well. I might add.
You know about it.
I do, because I have a Kickstarter going as well. So you've got a lot more than I do. You're like, did you break $1 million yet, or is it still 400? 400 and change?
800 and something.
I'm only at 400 and change. So we're both there.
Wow, that's
okay.
Really good. What's your
Mine's that's what I talked about this as well. I actually have a full-size arcade.
Okay.
So we have USB in. So I wanted to talk a little about your technology here. You're saying it's AI-based. Now, is there a camera as well? So there is a camera on there that's looking at the screen. AI is using the screen to determine where the bullet's going. Now, we have some licensed games that you're talking about as well. Or is it upgradable? Can you add more games to it, or are these the only games that will be on there?
So we're celebrating 30 years this year of Time Crisis. So Bandai Namco is pretty much a walled garden with 4 games.
Okay.
4 games, mini console, and you have 3 bundles. So you have the basic bundle. Sorry, we had to move the banner there, so you're not. It's easy, not easy to see. But you've got the basic bundle. Time Crisis plus 3 games, Point Blank, Still Gunner 1 and 2, and you get the pedal as well. You get a diorama, a pin badge, and then if you back it on Kickstarter, you get a Kickstarter exclusive keychain. And the ultimate is basically everything in premium, but an extra gun. So you get 2 guns, pedal, the console.
So it can't support 2 guns, so you can do co-op play.
So Time Crisis is only 1 player.
Yes.
So you have that and the pedal, and then you've got Point Blank,
which is 2 players. So from looking at this, I don't see any lag. So the AI is obviously fast enough where it's not slowing anything down.
So you have to calibrate your screen. So you can do any screen size from 15 inches to 150. And when you do the calibration phase, it recognizes the size of your screen. So basically it recognizes its borders.
So it's a one-time setup. You go to a new screen, it's a one-time setup. You can understand that screen, but after that, pick up and play.
It's a one-time setup every time you play, because it needs to recognize the screen. So you could be playing on this size screen, or you can take it up to like 100 inch.
But the plus side is, like you said, there's no border.
No border,
Full
no
screen
setup.
gameplay. Now, are these games playing at 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second? Oh, I might have got you on that one.
You got me on that one.
30 frames per second?
I'm with Johnny Turner.
Hey, buddy. So,
John told me to say hi to you if I saw you.
Is John here?
No.
So, now this device here, I don't suppose you can tell me what kind of chipset it's running on?
I can.
Okay.
Let me just bring you the console.
Okay.
Nope, just going on the side. Getting a close-up of the gun.
How's your Kickstarter doing, Glenn? 470,000 right now.
Wow.
Nice. We're getting there.
I've got to see it.
Kickstarter buddies.
We are Kickstarter buddies. I need to see your project so I can back it.
Turn it around. We got to see the inputs.
What we got?
Stuff.
Two USB-C on the front. We have power light, reset, vent fan, HDMI out, power in. Nothing on this side. Nothing on the bottom except the vent fan. So, and it's fairly light. I mean, if it's not too light. It's got, for the size, it feels about what it should be. So what chipset is this running on? That's what we have right here. So it's an SoC octa-core ARM Cortex 855 CPU, okay, with a Mali GPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 64 gigabytes of storage. It's a custom version of Android. So, not too shabby. Want a little picture of that now? Cool.
Perfect.
All right. So, I know you're on Kickstarter right now. How many days left on the Kickstarter? People to back with.
2 weeks.
So you're 14, I think I'm 16. So we're close. We're very close. So again, we got Time Crisis on it. This is a fully licensed game. And I'm going to give it a shot in a moment. I'll wait till he's done over there. But now, this is for 2 guns. Are there any reasons or possibilities of firm upgrades? If you find a bug in the game, is there firm upgrades on this, or it's pretty much going to be set to go?
You have it set to go, but yeah, there should be like we're launching in October.
So plenty of time to get that all filled out.
Yeah, plenty of time. So we're about 85% there.
Okay. Very cool. So next thing's for me to actually try the game out. So I'm going to do that next.
Yes.
Put it over there.
So US and Europe, well, the rest of the world is going to be a blue capital gun, and then Japan only is a black. But we brought it along today just to give you guys.
Right. I don't think the USA wants a black one. Unfortunately.
Ah, perfect
So how
time.
does this work here?
Customers want it, but we're.
Oh yeah. Well,
All
they
right, so
do.
we got to
They
get
do
a
sell.
close-up look.
They do sell a paint. So we have an on-off switch right here. We have a trigger button.
Insert coin.
Enter coin. There we go. We have on this side. Pause. We have a B button. We have an A button. We have our trigger, and we do have a camera that is apparently AI.
Now, is there
controlled.
rumble in this?
So
There is force feedback. Okay.
And the gun itself, it's plastic, obviously, but it feels solid.
How long is the cable for it?
So this is 3 meters, but when we ship and launch, it's 4 meters, and we're changing it to a rubber.
And what
Been
about
listening to
what about the
feedback from
pedal? How long will the cables be for the pedal?
I think.
Same thing, 4 meters.
So we have the pedal down here, and again, feels solid. It is again plastic, but it looks like it would definitely got a good spring action on it. So can I give this a try? Are you guys done?
Yeah, I'm done for right now. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some video. Okay.
That's fine. You don't need my hand.
Oh yeah, it'd be great to see the calibration screen.
Top left, 3 times. Again. Down the middle.
Feel vibration.
Yep.
Oh, it's very easy to calibrate.
Yes. Nice and simple. I love that. We wanted it to be easy for everyone to play.
So is there an on-screen cursor or no? I know it's going where I'm going, but is there an on-screen cursor or no?
There is an on-screen cursor. This UI is traceable as well.
Okay. So right now the camera is looking at the screen,
Yeah.
and AI is built into, I assume, the software in the box. It's in the gun.
Yes,
It is in the gun.
So the camera's being trained on over 500,000 different environments, where it's different size TVs, different rooms, different lighting, everything like that. So now it's learned how
So you don't have to worry about room lighting.
direct sunlight onto it or direct lighting. Like if you had a lamp here and it has like cut off this bit, it may be an issue, but then we got an onboarding screen video to tell you about that. So the camera is being trained to know what a screen is, it knows what the performance of the TV looks like. Live strong like that. That's how it works. You don't just be taught to know what a TV is. If you work on anything from
This side right there.
and 15 inches to over.
Okay.
So OLED, QLED, SD.
Pedal feels nice,
Yeah.
and I don't see or feel any lag. Other might just be in bad shooting. And it seems very accurate as well. I don't see any gun lag. I don't feel like I'm pulling the trigger and I'm moving the cursor around. I don't feel or see any delay in that. Of course.
I mentioned like at 2019. Yeah, convention. I think I was a big fan of your content, like at the NAS on YouTube. My name is Nick. I'm a huge fan of like. Yeah, I met you like a couple years ago. I was interested in looking at all your stuff.
There is a rumble in here, and I do feel it. It's not overpowering, but you do feel when you pull the trigger, you do get that little kick you would get from a small pistol. I gotta reload. That's right. Time's up. Game's over. So overall, again, it's using a camera on there, and AI apparently, so there's nothing to worry about as far as the border with like a Singen gun, which fortunately I make a Singen gun, so it's something. But it did seem to track fairly well. It really did. And again, it is plastic, but the plastic feels good. It's light in the hand, but not so light where you feel like it's a cheap toy. Obviously, it's going to be blue and orange in the States. Japan will get the black one. And again, we have a B button here, pause button. The camera is showing right there. And then we have our other buttons here on this side. But not bad.
Cool.
Not bad.
I gotta try.
Again, I've used the light gun since Nintendo, I guess, really. Well, even earlier, the original $90, obviously. And the big thing with the guns, obviously, is how well they track. And it did feel really, really good. Now, anyone who knows me in my channel, you're just meeting me, but I do sell my version of the Singen light gun. And just have the board. So there's a setup. It's very easy to shoot shot each one of the spots, and it was tracking very well. And your partner, what was his name again? Steve. So Steve was saying that it adjusts for the lights in the room.
I'm gonna try point blank. See if you can record point blank.
Okay. It does well. But I think that if people like the game, if you like the game, that it's not going to be expensive either. How much? Tell me right now, how much is it going for on Kickstarter?
So on Kickstarter, it's very Japanese yen, but it's a similar price. So it's $189 for the ultimate bundle, premium bundle, and it's about $10 difference to retail, basically, just because it's a gift.
Right. And it's not bad. So if you do like these games, again, it's on Kickstarter right now. There's about 14 days left. I'll put a link down below to the Kickstarter on there. And hey, buy mine, buy theirs, do it all.
I'm buy yours. I'm backing it.
So with that being said, listen, remember, this is all fun. Give it a try. So I was just going to walk away from this young lady, but she said something, and I want her to tell me again what you just said. And I did not coax her. She said this on her own.
So our Kickstarter campaign is not about making money, it's about getting the community involved, it's about getting feedback from the community, and it's about helping us develop the product to be as perfect as can be.
So that is the key for all companies out there. This is the place, whether it's a company, whether you're doing a Kickstarter, anything you're making, you want to reach out to the community that you're going for. Because we have all the information and the feedback that you need. So that was the best thing I think you said out of everything else. That's pretty awesome. But thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now that the interview is done and I am home and my voice is shot, which always seems to happen when I go to these shows, I need to work on that a little bit more. But here is the GAIME Time Crisis gun, fully licensed by Namco. And I'm just going to talk a bit about my experience with the gun and talk about what we're seeing here. So here's the actual gun. Now, in the U.S. and in Europe, it's going to be a blue gun. They cannot do black, but Japan, if you can get a copy from there, it will be a black gun. Now, you can see right here, there's an on-off switch for the recoil. Again, the recoil wasn't incredibly strong, but it's supposed to be a pistol. So you did feel each time you pull the trigger, there was a rumble, but it wasn't overly powerful. And then you have the A button there, and you have the reload button above that, the orange button. Right here is your reload. Here's your recoil on and off, your trigger, and an A button. And the gun itself is, it's a plastic. It didn't feel cheap. It didn't feel like the arcade one-ups, big buck hunter type of gun where it was total like squishy plastic. It was solid, like a typical gun you would expect to be in a home console. And you can see the orange cord. Now, I personally like that orange cord. It did tangle a little bit, but I just liked it more. But they're going to change that to a standard plastic cased type of cord, which I guess is fine. I use that on my Sinden Target Pros. But actually, I kind of like that cord that it used, but they are going to change that out. They got some feedback where people did not like it. Now, here's the other side of the gun. You have your B button right here, and they do have a pause button, which is kind of nice to have on here. Of course, your trigger button, and all your little screw holes to hold the gun together. But the gun is a typical gun you would see, especially for like Time Crisis. It's that style of a gun. So I think they did a fairly good job recreating that. And we'll go to the next slide over here. And you can see right here, here is a camera, which is very similar to the Sinden Target Pro. And it looks like a lot of these new light guns that don't use a IR, which we'll talk about that in another video, because I did take a look at the Intermec light gun. I'll discuss that in another video. But this does have a camera, but unlike the Sinden and the GRS Sinden Target Pro, which puts a white border around the screen so the camera can see the screen and know where the borders are, there is artificial intelligence being used. Now, I did get some conflicting information about the AI. Steve had said that the AI was actually inside the gun. Now, the gun connects to its main console over USB-C. So I'm like, okay, that's great. If the AI is in there and it's all kind of self-contained, and the box really just has the games and Android and the processor, perhaps we could talk about maybe porting this to my product line for the Build a KDFU. And that is something I am going to talk to the development team about. But when I was talking to Helena, she was saying that no, the AI is actually inside the Android box. So a little conflicting information there, but regardless, the AI and the driver is simply software based, whether it be on a chip or just software code that runs on the CPU. Is something that could be potentially ported to other machines. Now, we also did talk about will this gun be used on for other types of games. So I think of this very much like a Jack specific plug and play. So they're saying there's no other games going to be on that particular console. It's not hackable. I think we do know that there are teams that will absolutely be able to get into the machine and load games on it in the future. It's just the nature of the beast. It's going to happen. But I understand from a corporate standpoint, they need to say that because they're licensed games on here. But they did say they have other parties interested in the technology for other types of plug and plays. So my big hope was for House of the Dead, and she couldn't confirm or deny, and Steve couldn't confirm or deny, but you can kind of tell that I'm sure they're talking with Sega, or Sega's reached out to them for those type of games. Any type of light gun games, you're going to want to have light guns. Now, again, this is very similar to the Sinden and Sinden Target Pro that I make. The only real difference is there's no white border. Now, the white border is not a horrible thing. That just lets the camera see where the screen is, the playfield is. With this using artificial intelligence, once you calibrate, it has, she was saying originally about 20,000. They've been working on this for many, many years. And no one had wanted the technology before, but then people got interested. So their original model, they said about 20,000 screens or screen types. I'm assuming that's different brightnesses of the screens, not the actual size of the screens, but maybe the LCDs and all different types of panels and stuff like that. But they said they've increased the model to over 220,000 different instances of screens. So the artificial intelligence is getting better and better, but it can still be tricked. If you were to put a TV set in front of perhaps a black background, maybe some backlighting, that may trick the artificial intelligence to thinking the screen is bigger than it is. So I don't think it's a huge issue. I don't think too many people have that, but if you do have maybe a backlighting on your screens, you may have to turn that off. Again, I can't say because I didn't see it in that fashion. They simply say that they've gone to some shows where a TV set was like a 65-inch and there was like a black area behind it, and they kind of tricked the AI into not really understanding where the screen was. But again, this is not a release product. This is a pre-production unit, so things will obviously be improved down the road, and I'm sure that is something that will be worked out. But the actual calibration is fairly simple. You simply go to the upper left corner, then the center left, and then the lower left, then the lower center of the screen. So basically all around the border of the screen, you're going to click your gun pointing at it 3 times, and that tells the AI where your screen is. Now, the one thing to remember is, unlike with like a Sinden or Sinden Target Pro, once you have that white border, the gun knows where the screen is. Calibration doesn't have to be done too often. Now, with this, calibration kind of has to be done every time you play it. So anytime you turn this on and you go to the TV set, you have to calibrate. It doesn't take long. It only takes maybe 30 seconds at the most to calibrate. But just something to be aware of, that if you're like, say me, I'm 5'8", and I go to the screen and I play it and I calibrate it, and it's great. Now, if someone is 5'7" or 5'6" or 6 foot tall, that person is going to have to recalibrate. The different heights will change how the AI looks at the screen. So anytime a new player comes to this screen, you will have to recalibrate. Now, once if it's just you playing and you calibrate it, it's calibrated the entire time you play it. But when you turn it off and turn it back on, you are going to have to go through the recalibration screen. And if you hand it off to a friend, they will have to calibrate for them. Otherwise, the AI will not properly track. It may track kind of good, but they're saying it really needs to be calibrated each and every time to make sure the gameplay is done properly. And again, it doesn't take very long to do. Now, here is the box you can see right here. Now, this is running, if I recall correctly, a version of Android 14. So it's running Android. I'm pretty sure it was 14 that I saw. And you can see on the back of the unit right here, we have our HDMI cable to TV set. Now, the games that are put on here are apparently redone for 1080p. And we believe it's running at 30 frames per second. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it is. That's just a guess. But we have our power here, which is also USB-C. Then we have our main power button. We have our reset button. Then you have 1 or 2 guns, which also connect via USB-C. So it'd be interesting to find out if the AI, I personally believe the AI is running here. I believe the AI is running a software code on the main machine, which has, I think it was 2 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, not on the gun itself. The gun should really just be the motor and the solenoid for the triggers and the camera. I don't see any reason why the AI would be in there. Now, it's possible the AI is in a chip in the camera. That's possible. But I personally believe all software is in here. And if that's the case, you should be able to take this, plug this into any device that has the AI code, and run it on that. So hopefully in the future they'll be able to offer it. Now, Helena was pretty straightforward, saying that they're only working with licensed partners. So if you don't have the license for the games, they may not want to work with you. Obviously, I do not have that, but I would love to see this type of technology on the FU or even my 1/6 scale builder cage. Remember, I have taken my Sinden light gun and put it down to the 4-inch screen and played Alien 3 with a Sinden. So you lose a little bit of real estate on that screen, which again, it's ridiculously small. I know it's dumb, but I just do it to do it. But it would be kind of cool to get that last inch or whatever it is on a 4-inch screen of real estate back. But this box itself, again, didn't feel heavy. I don't feel like there's any metal plates in there. It's probably just a PCB for the weight. It didn't feel light, like it would move during gameplay too easy. But it felt like, again, for the size of the unit that it was, the weight was appropriate. And a little blurry picture of the Time Crisis on here. So I got a bad shot of that. Sorry about that. But this basically will be stamped with Time Crisis on the top of the machine. And, of course, their logo GAIME on there as well. Better shot over here. Very good. So we can see our power button here and a power light, USB-C for player 1, USB-C for player 2, and a reset button. It's got a nice feel. Again, the machine felt kind of nice. Again, you want to talk about $140, $50 for the 4 games, for the licensed games, the control unit, and a gun, which I don't think is a bad value. Now, if you do get it on Kickstarter, I think you get some perks, including a keychain that comes with it. If not, these will be available, obviously, in retail stores down the road. Here's the back of the unit. You can see some of the vent holes here. Here's your USB-C for power and your HDMI out. Again, these games that supposedly have been, they're not, again, my understanding was these are not the original arcade ROMs. These were recreated or reworked to be in 1080p. So that was just what I heard from the team, from GAIME, that these were not actual arcade ROMs. Again, I don't know if they know 100%, but they did tell me they weren't, and they were recreated for this device in 1080p. Now here is the Time Crisis pedal. Again, this thing felt really good. The spring had a good pushback on it. It felt like you were pressing against something, but not so much where it would be tiring. But you definitely felt like you're pressing down on a pedal. Obviously, this is plastic, but it didn't feel cheap. It felt like, again, for a $150 device, it would probably be adequate for what it is. And this cord here was, I said 3 meters, but it will be 4 meters as well with the light gun when the production unit comes into play. And here is the bottom. You can see there are 4 rubber feet, which will help it not move on a regular linoleum floor or wood floor. Hopefully, that'll keep it in place. And here is the team. That is Steve on the left, who is apparently they're like the game tester and works out the bugs and stuff like that. And then Helena is their head of international business. Both these guys were fantastic to talk with. They were there at the Old School Gamer booth, so big hats off to Old School Gamer. And again, they asked me to be at the Old School Gamer booth as well, but I didn't have my items to really take to the show. I didn't want to do it. And I feel really bad because I was actually supposed to have a booth there, and apparently I didn't get the email. So I would have been at the total opposite end of these guys. So I'm glad I didn't, because I was able to spend a lot more time with Helena, and Steve. Well, that's it for this video. We'll be making a few more on the Long Island Game Expo. There's some other items I wanted to talk about, but I'll make other videos along those lines. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out in YouTube algorithms. It takes 1 second for you, but it means a lot to me. And if you're also not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I'm on my way to getting, well, 1 more subscriber, and that could be you. So hopefully you do that. But if you're not, that is okay. In the meantime, remember, all these things are fun. Gaming is fun. But it doesn't take presence of a family and friends. Make sure you always tell family and friends you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. But in between those times, game on.